What's up, my fellow Tokyo nerds and fellow Skylander nerds? Let's talk about episode 17 of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Now, we left off where, from last week, where Baku is chasing after the wolf nightmare. And I gotta say, it's interesting that he went into Inazuma Plasma at the beginning of this episode, where he was originally in Impact, but who knows? One thing I'll say beforehand, I forgot to mention this last week, but it's interesting that during the whole bike sequence, he pulls out the Inazuma Blaster. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Inazuma Plasma only made for Inazuma Blaster, only meant for Inazuma Plasma form? Or is it like one of those situations where it's kind of like the Zeztz Breakum, where he can manually change into different modes, like the gun, axe, and all that? You let me know on that front. I don't know how I feel about that. Any case, that whole fight sequence between the Nightmare and Zeztz, so good. Street level fight scenes hit on a different level, and I love it. I also kind of like that the Nightmare kind of did his own rider kick. It was really cool. It kind of gives off, like, I've not seen a movie, I've seen clips of it, but it reminds me of Kamen Rider Gav movie with the bad guy, Kamen Rider Carries? Sorry if I butchered the name. Sorry. But it was really good. It was really good. It's interesting how Baku woke up from the dream. Because he woke up from a big noise. We know that. But then the noise is just, like in the dream, it's kind of like this dark red blast that just smacks Baku in the face. I don't know how I feel about that. So if he woke up because of that noise, what would happen if he sets an alarm? In a sense like that. Because I remember in episode 1, her, Baku's sister, Minami, woke him up with a, with a frying pan, I believe. And that's just hilarious. So, I'm just curious. I'm just curious on that front. But I thought it was very interesting. Also, I find it interesting that the bike is back in the base where it was destroyed in a warehouse. I find that very interesting. And I know Nox took out the Zero's, like, memory chip. But where is Zero? Exactly. I'll get to that thought in a minute, but give me a sec. Because how did the bike get back to the base if it was in the warehouse? Is it just one of those, like, dream situations where it kind of resets everything? Kind of? You let me know on that front. Question of the day. I got a couple questions of the day, but we're moving on. And I do like that we got some clarification on what happened to Nem as regards to disappearing. Because apparently it was the lady. And yes, I'm going to pronounce it as the lady. Just because it's more dramatic that way. And I got questions about the lady because she can read people's minds and at the same time is like this. It is very creepy and is able to have different aliases, like when she was a nurse, and at the end of the episode is like this sleep psychiatrist. Moving on. So I got questions about her and the way she said that Nem is the bait, because we see that Nem is with them. But okay, here's what I'm confused about. Here's another question of the day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we see Nem with Nox while Nox was in his like dream outfit? But they're in the real world, and Nox is in normal clothes. Where are they? Are they are they in a limbo? Like dream limbo? Where it's like half real world, half dream world? Because it's very interesting. I got questions about that, but moving on. And to be honest, I have questions about why is Nem the bait for Zero? Why Zero specifically? To my recollection, Nem and Zero have very little interactions. Nem visit the base once or twice, but didn't really interact with Zero on a personal level. So that's interesting. I have a theory that Zero might be Nem's father. Real father, not adoptive father, because we already went through that. Because we know that Nem's an orphan. We know that. So is Zero the real father? It definitely opens some questions to this episode, but I'm just giving my thoughts because, well, that's my job on this YouTube channel. And it is very interesting, to say the least. So that's all the questions I have currently. I'm sure there's... No. I'm wrong. There's more. We'll get to that in just a minute. Jumping ahead a bit, I love the fight sequence between Kamen Rider Nox and Kamen Rider Zeztz. That was really good. And I'm really impressed on how well they played with the shadow elements that Nox has. It was really done really well. Especially when he was, jumping ahead again, when he was defeating the Nightmare. The rider kick that he did, takes a shout, pulls the Nightmare to him, and does a spinning back kick. I love that. First time I saw that, I had goosebumps. Woo! Even just thinking about it is just chilling, but in a good way. I love it. Please. I know that the bosses between that are working on Zeztz or Toei or whoever, I know they're probably not watching me at this point, but please, I'm begging you, keep the Nox Rider kick. That is so freaking good. Please. Please and thank you. Thank you. Okay. And, I mean, fight sequence, amazing. And also, the way that Baku saved Nem from the Nightmare. Because last week... Okay, here's a random question. Last week, the Nightmare ate Nem. And Nem was in the stomach of the Nightmare. The main dream that's supposed to make the Nightmare come to the real world was that he fully ate them? I'm very confused about that. Please help. Please help. Thank you very much. I will shout you out in the comments next week. Okay? Thank you. So, that's very interesting. And technically, didn't the Nightmare succeed it? Or did Baku manage to save Nem in time so that the night... Well, yeah, Baku saved Nem just in the nick of time before the Nightmare got into real world. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, doesn't the Dreamer have to be nearby in order to make that happen? Am I crazy? Or is there loopholes? Please help. Anyway, either way, done really well. And I love how Baku did it. Not even going into rider form. Just using the impact custom and just literally kicking them to the back and spinning them out. That is awesome. That is really awesome. And shows that Baku can fight without the suit. That is really good. Okay, technically we saw that in the first episode. Technically we saw that. But like hand-to-hand combat. That was really good. That was really good. What else should I mention? Oh yeah, I should probably mention this. Code number 3. What the heck? Okay. I have a lot of questions in this video. I'm not expecting every single answer here to be answered by you guys, but it would help me understand what the heck's going on. But, in all honesty, revealing that code number 3 is now the assistant, whatever this is, the new boss for Baku, is very interesting. Also, we got to see him in the sneak peek for next week's episode. He's in, well, we kind of know this already. I'm rambling, sorry. We see him in the base. How did he get to the base? How did he find the base? Where has he been all this time? Because if the agents are disposable, what happened to him? Because we know what happened to Nox currently, and he was code number 4. And we know that 5 and 6 are coming. What is going on with code? I have so many questions here. I'm enjoying Zeztz so much, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Like, who's code number 3? What's his deal? Where's Zero? We need more information about the lady. And on top of all of that, we got more riders to look forward to, because we did get the toy reveals for the next riders. Quote unquote. I don't know if they're going to become official riders, but we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes. But overall, I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of questions that have been dropped in this episode, but I can't wait to see what happens. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on what my thoughts are about each episode, and to keep an eye out for any upcoming videos. So, until next time, take care.